Hello lovely humans, it has once again been a little while since I've uploaded to this channel. My upload schedule is insufficient to say the least. However, I am back. Here is me with another video. I don't know, the idea to this video just sort of came to me and I think it's maybe gonna be funny, it might not be, maybe you won't even end up seeing it because it'll end up being complete trash, but who knows. You've already read the title, so you already know what's happening. I hope this is a good video. So yeah, this is just gonna be stories of me being a useless bisexual TM. As some of you probably already know, I figured out that I was LGBTQ very, very young. I think I came out when I was like 12 or 13. So I have lots of wonderful stories to present to you today. This is just gonna be like 10 minutes of me making myself cringe, so hopefully you're not cringing along with me and instead laughing at my incompetence. Alright, so the first story I want to tell you takes us back a couple of years to when I was, I believe, 14 years old. It was my birthday. And let me just paint a picture for you. Me and 3 of my friends are sitting at a dining table in my favorite restaurant. One of my 2 best friends at the time, and also my crush, was sitting next to me at the table, and 2 of my cousins were sitting across from us. Somehow the topic morphed into people that all of us were interested in, and my cousin asks me who the girl I like is. And she starts listing off names, and I say no, 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 and then she says the name of the girl I'm sitting next to. Now, I am an absolutely terrible liar. I crack under pressure like nothing you would believe, like red cheeks, giggling, the whole thing. So, when she asks if it's the girl that's next to me, I say no. And then I look down at my drink and I say maybe, yes. And the girl sitting next to me just looks at me and turns back to the 2 sitting in front of us. And my cousin just gives me this look like, oh my god, I am so sorry, because of course she was just joking around. She didn't think I was actually interested in the girl. And to top it all off, dinner was just the beginning of the birthday celebrations. We were going to the garden near the restaurant after, and we're going to be going back and having cake and hanging out at my place. So after she found out that I liked her while we were sitting shoulder to shoulder in a booth at a restaurant, we then got to spend the next 2-ish hours together. She didn't really talk to me for about a week after that, and then we were cool. We don't really hang out anymore, we kind of drifted apart, but yeah, that was safe to say one of the most awkward moments of my entire life. Okay, this next one isn't exactly a specific story or moment, but it is one of the funniest things to me, so I wanted to include it anyway. As a certified alternative bisexual, it is basically a law of the universe that I have to be attracted to girls with dyed hair. It's just how it works. And literally any time I'm at like the art gallery or a concert or somewhere where there is a lot of girls with dyed hair, anytime one of them walks past, my brother will just look at me like, I know you just fell in love with that girl. No, you don't know her. Come back to reality. And literally at this point, if I'm out in public with him and I see a girl with dyed hair, we just like look at each other and he just gives me this look like, absolutely not. Stop it. Okay, this one is kind of funny but also a little bit sad. Back in like June or July of 2019, I finally found the courage somewhere deep within myself to ask out this girl that I was talking to that I really liked. I literally sent her a text that said something along the lines of like, hey, random question, but if I asked you on a date, would you say yes? And as is often the case with text, it took her a while to reply. It was pretty late at night, and I sent the text, and just immediately this wave of regret hit me. So I texted one of my friends and was like, oh my god, dude, like, I just asked her out, what do I do? Like, what if she says no? What if she says yes? I'm freaking out. And so he texts me back, and we're like kind of talking, and I'm like still freaking out, literally like hyperventilating. I put my phone face down on like my pillow in front of me and just put my head in my hands and freaking, like, I was almost hyperventilating, and I just tried to talk myself out of a panic attack. And then finally she replies and she says yes, so that's great. But then I was like, oh my god, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I literally jump out of bed, it's like 10 o'clock, and I run downstairs and I'm like, hey mom, like, I'm potentially going on a date, what do you think we should do? Like, do you have any recommendations? Please help me, I'm freaking out. So I spent like half an hour sitting on the couch, like talking to my mom, freaking out because like I'm taking a girl on a date. So yeah, that was all a thing. And then finally the day of the date arrives, and I was super awkward the entire time. I was freaking out. It didn't end badly, like we had a good time. We ended up going out for like 6 months. It was good, but it was definitely possibly peak useless bisexual for me. Maybe not the most awkward, you know, I think the incident at the restaurant was worse, but it was pretty bad. Oh, okay, I just remembered one of the worst ones. Once again, at a restaurant, because apparently I can't just eat dinner in peace. So, me and my family were at the old spaghetti factory in Victoria. Side note, if you live near an old spaghetti factory, you should go, because literally, like, there's nothing better, but I should get back to the point. But yeah, so we get seated at our table, and then our waitress comes over, and she looks like maybe a little bit older than me, and she's really pretty, and I'm like, oh god. And she tells us, you know, she'll give us a minute to think about our orders, and my brother's sitting next to me, and I look at him and I'm like, did you see that waitress? Like, and he's like, oh my god, you useless gay blob of a human being, like, just look at the menu. So I go into looking at the menu, but I'm still thinking about the pretty waitress, because that's what I do. And she comes back over and she gets our drink orders and our food and whatever, and she gets talking to like my mom and dad, and my dad is kind of asking her about, like, you know, when you're a tourist you always get the touristy stuff, so they're asking like why they're over here, and she's mentioning like she didn't originally live here and she's here for school and like she's in uni, and I get the impression she's probably like 19ish. So then I'm like, oh my god, like that's still super illegal, but she's like a teenager. Like, she's a teenager. And my brother notices that I picked up on that little tidbit in the conversation and is again scolding me for being a useless gay. And all the while this is happening, every time she comes to the table, my brain is just short-circuiting. Like, I'm pretty awkward when I'm ordering in restaurants. It was 100 times worse with this girl. Like, I was stuttering, I was tripping over words, I had to, like, I said the wrong food and had to completely backtrack to like a different menu item when she asked my order. That's how just work brain, please. So yeah, that was fun. The final little story or set of stories I guess I have for you guys is that I basically forgot to come out to the majority of my friends because I was in so many online communities, and I was out online, I was out to, you know, siblings and my cousins and some teachers I had and things, that I like basically forgot that I wasn't out of the closet to most people and forgot that I hadn't told them. These 3 friends that I used to hang out with all in a group all found out like in the same conversation because I accidentally just kind of dropped it, and they were like, okay, wait, hold up, like, are we just gonna pretend you didn't just say what you just said? Because you said something. And I'm like, oh, whoops. One time I was at my best friend's house talking to her, and we were talking about like people we like and stuff, and I was talking about the girl I like, but I hadn't used like pronouns or anything because I usually don't when I'm talking about people for whatever reason. And she was like, wait, so who is that? And then I like gave her the name of the girl that was actually the same girl that found out I liked her at the restaurant. And she's like, oh, so you're bi. And I was like, I didn't tell you that? Like, I didn't tell you that? Whoops. So yeah, there you have it, an abundance of examples of how I am a useless mess of a human being, especially when it comes to pretty girls. Then again, who isn't, I suppose? Anyway, yeah, I hope this was at least mildly entertaining. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like down below and subscribe to my channel to see more. I'm hoping to get a more consistent upload schedule in place at some point. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate that. If you would like to see more from me, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all of which will be linked in the description below. And if you are interested in any of the makeup products I'm wearing in this video, those will also be linked in the description below. Also, I just realized, like, you totally can't see my shirt, which I'm sad about, because, like, I feel like more people need to know that I'm a Dan and Phil stan. Dan and Phil stan Twitter shaped me as a human being. But yeah, that's all from me for today. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I really hope to see you again soon. Bye!